Hey guys, it's Tash and Hunter. He's just being neighbourhood watch because I'm at the front room. He's peeking out the window at the world going by and getting cranky at things. So I just want to jump on and talk about mine and Wesley's fertility journey, because I've kind of opened up a little bit about it but not completely, and I don't know, I really do struggle to talk about it. So I don't know, I feel like if I kind of post a video, maybe it'll be a bit easier for people and a bit easier for me, I guess, to open up about it. But yeah, okay, so let's start at the start. So Wesley and I have been together for 10 years, married for one and a half years, because we got married last June. And for the most part of our relationship, we pretty much have not used protection, which should have been my first indicator. But so in the 10 years we've been together, we have fallen pregnant naturally twice. Both of those unfortunately ended in miscarriages. One was in 2012 and then the other was in January this year. The one in 2012 was definitely not planned. I don't know, it was still devastating, but we only got to like 6 weeks, and we went to I went to the first scan just to see how things are progressing, to see if we could get a dating scan done, and there was already no heartbeat. So yes, it was devastating, but it was a lot. I mean, I'd only known I was pregnant for like 2 weeks, so it wasn't as bad. The one in January this year, I was 11 plus 2, and it was definitely planned because we'd gotten married in June, so then we just thought, oh, okay, well, we'll start trying. Really lucky, like we got pregnant the very first go, which, considering what we know now, was very, very lucky. But yeah, so 11 plus 2, we found out there was no heartbeat anymore, and then it took until 12 plus 1 for my body to actually kick in and miscarry the baby. So that one was pretty bad, and it's the start of labor. So you start ovulating, your cervix starts dilating, so you're still getting almost like labor pains where you have contractions every certain amount of minutes, and then they get closer and closer together until eventually, like I felt like almost like a pop, and then I had liquid come out. It's disgusting, sorry, overshare, but anyways. And then that's when the clotting started, and the baby just started to kind of come out after that. But yeah, so that was the worst, and that's kind of thrown me around for, what is it, it's December now, so I was depressed, I gained weight, I was really mad at myself, I was mad at my body, I was embarrassed because I just couldn't do what my body was meant to do. Like, it was designed to make babies, and for some reason it just wasn't doing that on its own. But yeah, so that was in January, and then we did start trying again pretty much straight away. They said to wait a month because they like to have like a period so they can date the pregnancy from that period. And so we waited a month, and then we pretty much started trying straight away. Nothing happened, and then we decided a couple of months ago to go ahead and do some investigating to see what was going on and why it was so hard to fall pregnant all of a sudden, especially considering that time had happened first go, so we didn't know why now all of a sudden something was wrong and it wasn't working. But so a couple of months ago we started doing some investigating. We found out a couple of things actually. So first of all, it is both of us, unfortunately. So both of us have markers to make it very difficult to fall pregnant, so that's why in the 10 years it's only happened twice. And yeah, so Wesley's sperm count it's not like terrible, it's just a little bit low-ish, and then with me, so okay, so it's called AMH. It's a hormone that basically is in your pituitary gland, I believe, in your head, in your brain or whatever. And my AMH levels at the age of 27, the average should be at level 14, but mine sits at 4.2. Now what that means is that I am basically running out of eggs. So I might be 27, but I have the egg reserves of a 40-year-old, which is really sad. So when we found that out, I was devastated. I was just like, oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I was pretty upset. But we decided, so we talked to a fertility specialist, and he said with both sides having problems, the best thing to do would be to basically go ahead with IVF. So because they can't give you a time frame on when your eggs are going to run out, they suggested doing IVF because we don't know when that's going to happen. And I mean, we do still have options to have our own baby, which is good. But yeah, they suggested to go straight ahead with IVF. So we had the appointment to have everything go ahead, and then this was at a full cost clinic, and I don't have 11 grand. I do not have $11,000 to spend willy-nilly. Even if I do want a baby and I want one that badly, I don't have $11,000 to just spend like that. I mean, if you're going to bring a baby into the world, you kind of need to have some money behind you. So we started doing that, but then like I freaked out, and because I'm the one that stresses about money, but I freaked out, and then Wesley was fine. He would have spent the money like a drop of hat, because he knows how much I want this, and he wants it too, of course. But yeah, I freaked out, and then I called the clinic and I told them that like we can't afford that. So there are bulk billed clinics that you can go to. I did some investigating on a couple of those, and some of them, it's almost like they do like a strict protocol. They don't tweak it for each individual's needs, and our needs were very specific because we had Wesley's side and then we also had my side. So we didn't go with the cheap one, which is I think about $900, which is still a bit of money, but way better than the 11 grand. But yeah, so that one wasn't for us because we both had concerns on both of our sides. So my clinic actually told me that they have a lower cost clinic as well. And we decided to go ahead with them because it's actually, so it's the same specialists, but you don't get to pick your doctor, if that makes sense. You kind of just get whoever's available on the day. So it's not as personalized, I guess, because you're not seeing the one person, but I'm so fine, and the nurses have been like amazing. So we were happy to do that. But yeah, so we started injections. When was that? Okay, so we've just finished basically our first stim cycle. So basically what that means is that So we basically finished our first stim cycle. So my first injections, you have to inject yourself in your belly. It's not fun, but look, I've had injectables in my face, so if anyone's going to do it, I'm going to do it. But on the 24th, that's right. So on the 24th of November is when we started the first injection. The first injection is pretty easy. It just basically is looks like this. You do have obviously a needle that goes on the end there, but you basically just press the end and it just goes straight in. So that one's really easy. That one doesn't really irritate either, and the needle's very thin, so that one didn't bother me as much. But so that one we did for 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 4 days on its own. And then on the 5th day, so what that one does, that basically helps your follicles to grow, so that they can obviously collect little eggs. But at day 5, you have to start to introduce a second needle. This one was nasty. So the needle itself is a lot thicker than that one, and it is tapered at the end, so you just have to make sure you get the sharp end, but it's like an actual needle. It's shit, basically. But it'll all be for a good cause. So that one's introduced on day 5, so you do both needles at that stage, basically to stop you from naturally ovulating, because you obviously don't want to ovulate. You want the doctor to go in and grab the eggs. So yeah, so then for how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 days you do both of those needles, and then on the 6th day, so that night I had my trigger shot. So my trigger shot basically is so that they can go and collect the eggs from the follicles, I believe. So I did that one at night time at a very specific time, because it has to be timed with when the doctor's going to go in there and get the eggs. So that was at 10 p.m. on Monday, and it is now, what's today, Friday? Yeah, so 10 p.m. on Monday night is when I did my trigger shot. That one was fine. That one looks exactly like the first one, the Go Now. So that one was totally fine. But then on Wednesday is when we were scheduled to go and get do the egg pickup, basically. So yeah, on Wednesday we went in and did the egg pickup. We ended up getting 5 eggs, which is good. We got 5 eggs, and then they got Wesley to do a semen sample. I wish that's all I had to do. That would be amazing, but no, I'm the female. Of course I have to do more. But yeah, so he did his semen sample, and then they basically did ICSI. Now, there's all different types of IVF. So there's IUIs, where they basically time when they put the sperm in there themselves, because they know that you're ovulating. Then there's like regular IVF, where they basically have your little egg in a dish, and they'll release quite a few sperm around it, and then they'll just kind of do their thing naturally as they would inside of you. But because Wesley's sperm count was a little bit lower and whatnot, they decided to do ICSI, which is basically the embryo and then putting the one sperm straight into the egg. So yeah, so they did that on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, so yesterday, I got a call, and so overnight, 4 of them fertilized, which is awesome. 4 out of 5 fertilized, because a lot of them can drop off too. So you just, I mean, it's all luck. They said that because I'm still young, like, yes, my AMH is low, but there could be a 40-year-old that has a lot higher AMH, and they do get more eggs, but their quality of eggs can be rubbish. So yeah, they said that because I'm young, hopefully my quality is better, which it must have been, because only 1 of them dropped off, which is good. So 4 of them fertilized overnight, and then so today we went back in. So today basically we had the egg put back in. So it's a 2-day transfer. So because it is a lower cost clinic, they do the transfers on either day 2 or 3 after fertilization. Whereas if you go to a full cost clinic, they generally grow them to day 5 or 6, which is the doctor said, he's like, well, yes, it'd be nice to see the embryo get a bit further in its development before we put it back in, but if it's going to be successful, where is it going to do better? It's going to do better in your uterus, so where it's supposed to be. So he said they have, I don't know, microscopes, whatever. They've got all these machines that they try and pick the best one, but yeah, he said that the rest of them though, so because we've got 3 left, so the rest of those are going to be grown until day 5 and then frozen. So if this round doesn't work, then our next round will be a 5-day transfer. Like, it's called a frozen embryo transfer, I believe, but it'll be 5 days. So it'll be technically a blastocyst, which is a more advanced one, whereas, so we did have one put back in today, but that one, I think it's only about a 4-cell one, because it divides in cells like every day, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so we had one put back in today, which was weird. It's basically like a pap smear, and then they call you, it's called PUPO, so pregnant until proven otherwise. But we have to wait 2 weeks, so basically that 2-week wait period that normal couples would have if they've been trying to conceive. So my birthday's on the 21st, and on the 20th we're going to do a pregnancy test to see if it's positive. Fingers crossed. But yeah, in regards to the procedure, so putting the egg back in was fine. It was, like I said, it's just like a pap smear. They just put like a tiny catheter up through your cervix and put it in that way. But the egg pickup, oh my god, that was horrible, because it's a lower cost clinic. You don't go under general anesthesia. You get put under twilight sedation, which is basically, so I got 2 Valium, and so I got 2 Valium and 2 Penadine Fort to take beforehand, which, oh my god, that kicked in so fast. Like, Valium is ridiculous. I took like videos when I was in there, and I look drunk. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so they gave me those, and then I think we waited like 15 minutes or so, and then so we went into the procedure room, and they give you like the gas to have, and apparently the gas worked a little bit too well on me. I don't know if I was just honking it down or something, but so I laid on the table, and then of course you have like your legs in stirrups. Very flattering, but like I said, for a good cause. But yeah, so went in there, and then like she gave me the gas, but she said, oh, don't take it just yet. And then so they start to go in, and then he said, oh, I'll warn you before I do the needle, because they have to use a needle to poke into your ovaries to get the eggs. That hurt. So I don't know, it was really weird. I remember taking my very first breath of the gas, and then I was like, they had music playing in there, and then the lady, like, I felt the needle because that's what hurt, and then I like honked again on the gas. It was just like, give me gas. And then the nurse next to me, so they're amazing. She was looking after me, but she was right next to me. She said, oh, we've got one egg. And then I don't remember anything. Like, it's really weird. I literally have, it's almost like a repeat of what the last thing I heard and felt was just going on repeat. I heard nothing after that. I didn't hear 2 eggs, 3 eggs, 4. I didn't hear anything else until the end. And then the nurses, I think they were a little bit like nervous. Not nervous, but a little bit like, oh gosh, she's really taking off that gas. I just wasn't waking up. I wasn't opening my eyes. Like, I could hear them after that, but I just couldn't open my eyes. So she's like, oh, she held my hand. She's like, oh, can you squeeze my hands? And then I squeezed one hand. She's like, can you squeeze with the other one? Squeeze that hand. And then the other nurse, she's like, oh, you need to cough to get some of the gas out. So I coughed twice, and then I could open my eyes. But so hopefully, if this does result in a pregnancy and I need gas when I'm giving birth, it's gonna work amazingly. But yeah, so that was the worst of it. But now, oh my god, the after effects of those needles, seriously. So you can get like overstimulation of your follicles, which is scary, but apparently, like, I don't have that. I just have severe bloat. Oh my god, I literally feel like I have 2 giant golf balls like in my sides, in my ovaries. Because, and he said, that's what the doctor said today, because they did double check and just make sure that everything was okay. He's like, yeah, because they drain the fluid when they go in to get the eggs, but then they fill up with fluid again. So he said that'll probably stick around for a little while, but god, I hope not. Because I feel like I've got, it's not like bloated from food and stuff. Like, it's literally in my lower pelvis, and it just feels so full. Another overshare. Kind of feels like you need to fart, but you actually don't. It's really weird. But yeah, so hopefully that goes away soon. But he said to me today, he's like, well, if you do get pregnant, that could probably stick around until the 12-week mark. And I was just like, excellent, that's great. But yeah, so we had that today. So technically right now we are puppo, so pregnant until proven otherwise. We'll be doing our pregnancy test while we're on holidays, actually. So they would prefer, yes, do it like on a pee stick, like a normal way to see if you get positive, but they want you to come in for bloods as well, because they want to check your HCG just to see where the levels are at, and they also want to check your progesterone levels. Oh, that's another thing. So after the egg pickup, so that was on Wednesday, so last night I started using progesterone. They're pessaries, it's gross. But you basically have to like insert it into the vagina, and just, it's like a cream. It's like a really thick cream. It's kind of gross actually. You have to wear a liner because it's disgusting. But so I started that last night, and then I have to do that every night until whenever they tell me to stop. But that supports the pregnancy. So I don't know if people know, but progesterone is vital in supporting a pregnancy. They think that maybe my progesterone was low with the other 2 pregnancies, and that's why I miscarried, because it's quite common apparently to have low progesterone, but that's debatable. A lot of specialists will say no, they don't agree, because if the progesterone was low, then there's probably a problem with the pregnancy anyways, like a chromosome abnormality or something, and your body's basically rejecting it. But yeah, so I have to do pessaries now just to support the pregnancy, because obviously they picked a good egg, picked a good sperm, put them together, it fertilized, so they're hoping for the best. But yeah, so I have to do that until we get back, and they monitor that as well. So with a regular GP, they don't check your progesterone. It's just all the fertility clinics that do, because it does play such a vital role. Normally what would happen is when you do ovulate, that little follicle that the egg came from ruptures and releases enough progesterone to support the pregnancy until whenever your placenta kind of takes over. But yeah, they're just upping that with medication now just to make sure, because I didn't obviously have a follicle that released the egg on its own. But yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. It's all very scary, really. I mean, you kind of, when we found out, so that day that we found out what the problem was, I don't know, I'm weird. Like, I act fine. I act like I'm strong. I don't need anyone. Like, I'm totally fine. I can deal with things by myself. But so that day I was like, okay, cool. So this is what we have to do. But then, so the next day, because I was off work the next day, that's when I had my little moment. Because you kind of have to grieve. Like, you almost have to grieve the fact that you are not going to be able to make a baby the traditional way with your husband. Like, that, being poked and prodded is not nice, and nobody wants to go through that. But if you want a family and you need some help, you just got to take it. But yes, it's almost like a grieving process. So first, I mean, you go the grieving process for miscarriage, then you find out what the problem is and why you're not getting pregnant. And then, yeah, you kind of go through it all over again. But yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we need a little bit of help, which is fine. Hopefully this first round works. And we don't have to do another round. Be a good birthday present, that's for sure, because the day before that we'll get like a positive one. But I mean, even then, I still don't know if I'm going to retain the pregnancy. So you still have to get to that 12-week mark to be more like safe. Like, it's still not safe, obviously. People miscarry and have stillborns and stuff, and goodness knows what else can happen. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. I just thought I'd update everybody because, I don't know, you feel rubbish. You feel, like I said, you feel like a failure. You feel like your body is crap because it doesn't do what it's designed to do. It's nice to, because I've joined some IVF groups on Facebook and whatnot, which is amazing because you talk to other women who are going through the same thing. It's hard because literally, like, I'm not talking one or two friends, but all of my friends are pregnant right now. And I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy, but it still is a kick in the guts. No matter what you say, no matter how you act inside, you still feel like, why? Like, you're just envious. You're like, why can't that be me? Like, what did I do wrong to have it be such a struggle to do it just so easily as they have done? But yeah, literally all my friends are pregnant, which is awesome. But yeah, it's definitely a kick in the guts. And these IVF groups are really, they're helping me because I know that, well, first of all, like I said, so we have options. There's women that don't have, there's almost no options. They basically tell them, you guys are never going to conceive like together. Like, you need a donor egg, you need donor sperm, your body can't hold a pregnancy or whatever. There's so many people that are worse off than us, so I can't complain too much. It's just unfortunate that we can't make a baby the traditional way, because Wesley is literally like my best friend and I love him so much, and I wish that I could give that to him the normal way, but my body doesn't want to. And then, like I said, and then he's got things going on as well, so it's just not happening naturally for us, but that's fine. We'll see how this goes, and then if it doesn't work, then I think you have to leave like a month in between, just to kind of let everything settle down, and then you can go for another round. So like I said, we've got 3 other eggs that they are still growing at this point to try and get them to the 5-day mark, and that's when they freeze. 5 or 6 days, he said, and that's when they freeze them. So we might have some more on ice, and I don't have to do the stimulation cycle again, because that was and this bloat is killing me, but it'll be worth it. But yeah, so hopefully if this doesn't work, like I said, I hope it does, but we've still got 3 eggs hopefully on ice that we can use, but we'll see how we go. I think that's pretty much it. I gave you a backstory, I gave you where we're at now, and I guess we'll just see what happens. But I think I'm going to keep you guys updated because, like I said, I really struggle to talk about this stuff. Like, there's a few friends that do know, but when I found out that my AMH was low, I had a freak out, literally. And and I pretty much haven't spoken to anybody about it since then. So it'd be nice to, I guess, keep everyone updated. And then, like I said, if there's other women out there that are struggling with the same sorts of problems and they just need, I guess, someone to talk to about it, I'm here. You can message me. But it's just nice to see other women that are going through something similar, because you think you have all the time in the world to have babies, and then, like I said, 27, and I found out that I have little to no eggs left. So you just never know. Not that I'm saying go out and get pregnant at like 18, because you could be running out of time, but just know that when they say your biological clock is ticking, that's no joke. Like, your biological clock is actually ticking, and if you do leave it too long, this might be something that you might have to do. I didn't think I had left it that long, but for my body, apparently it was longer than we should have left it, because, I mean, the doctor said he doesn't know if the other pregnancies, if my AMH was still low then. He said it probably was, because of the fact that, like I said, for 10 years of our relationship, we have pretty much not used protection. And to only have 2 pregnancies result out of that is a red flag. So he said your AMH was probably low, but there's no way to tell. So I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated, and then I'll, fingers crossed, in 2 weeks we'll do this this test, and then it'll be positive. And with progesterone help, I can retain the pregnancy as well. And then maybe next year we'll have a little baby. I hope so. Well, signing off. Have a lovely day, everyone, and that's it from me. Thanks.